So at the end of last year, I had some of the most impressive activity I've ever had on this property. Most of it was started in like October, to where I could go to the very back of my property and actually sit in one spot and for like 10 minutes have them throw objects, break things, run around making noises. I think that happened 5 times and I've got all that on video. And then at the end, it was like October, November. At the end of that series, there was like a couple weeks where there was absolutely nothing. And then there were 3 different nights to where it always started the same. I would be up on my front porch up there, and there would be an object that was thrown, something very obvious, thrown into this wood pile. It was a lot bigger before. My dogs would go towards that area and I would follow. And on 3 different nights, I got some of the best vocals I've ever gotten. And it all happened the same way. Well, here recently I posted the video of one of those nights where it sounds like they yell the word Pika twice, which is obviously very cool. But the best one out of all 3 of those nights happened right here. It started out, I was on my front porch again, up there. There was an object thrown over here. Me and the dogs walked over here. I would scoot up a little bit at a time towards this wood pile. And then all of a sudden, something ran off. And as it ran off, it was speaking. And it wasn't English. It sounds like, almost like a juvenile, a kid yelling something in Native American. Well, I'm not ashamed to admit I am not a professional yet when it comes to enhancing audio. I put it up, I tried to enhance it a little bit, still wasn't the greatest. Chris Hensley, he's friends with Marie Dumont. I sent that audio to him and he cleaned it up a lot, and I'm very happy with what you can hear. So I want to play that for you guys again, and also kind of show each part of the vocal separately. I think it's worth even trying to go further with. I believe it's one of the best vocals I've recorded because it's got actual language in it. And there's no way in the world anybody's going to convince me that a random child was running and jumping and speaking Native American in the woods after throwing a rock in my yard. After 2 other nights with activity just like it, with very obvious Sasquatch vocalizations. More, one of the nights was way more animalistic, like a Tasmanian devil, and more traditional sounding vocalizations. But check it out, see what you think. So one of the things I want you to pay attention to is at the very end of the audio. Now the whole thing is pretty cool, the running and jumping and talking, but there's one of the things that came out after Chris got rid of a lot of the background that I didn't realize. There's the vocalizations, then the running, the jumping, and vocalizations at the same time. And then after the obvious part of all that, it's still walking around, and you can hear the bipedal steps, the walking, and I think a little more mumbling too. I didn't realize that, because initially it just sounds like the running, the jumping, the vocalization at the same time, and then that was pretty much it. But afterwards it's pretty cool because you can hear the individual steps after it's done with this little run and jump, like it's showing off. That's what it sounds like it's doing, like it's trying to show off. So the whole thing is pretty interesting, considering the fact that after those 3 nights of those super obvious vocalizations and the super obvious activity, it just quits. I went months without having any type of activity at all. It was almost like they were showboating. Like, all right, well, we know we're not going to be here in a few months, so let's be as obvious as we can possibly be. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but it just kind of seems like over the years, getting vocalizations like this has always been very difficult. I've only gotten a handful, and most of them have just been like, you know, just real basic, except for like the growl and the talking on my back deck. It's all been very basic stuff, you know, kind of animalistic, just kind of grunts and yells and stuff like that. Gotten a lot of breaks and a lot of throws, but they've never been super, super obvious. But 3 nights in a row, for whatever reason, right before they left, they were super obvious.